babes, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Haley J here. We are doing a light dust glam today on my girl. So I'm starting off by just wiping her skin with some witch hazel on a cotton pad just to remove any excess dirt or oil so we can have a nice fresh clean face. I like to apply some calamine lotion because she does have oily skin, and this just makes sure her skin is very matte and dry for the application. It's going to help throughout the day to tone down some of the oiliness, and I like to let that dry down a little bit. I am using the Nars foundations on her. Everything that I'm using today will be linked down below. I believe I used Marquise and Caracas today. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, y'all, but I think it would really be Macao, but I don't have that right now, so I'm doing a lot of mixing the foundations that I use. So I always start on top of the forehead. This also gives the calamine lotion some time to dry, and I just overline the top of her brow just to help me with that shape when I go in to fill in, and just apply that with a small brush and just place little small lines across her face just to apply the product before we go in to blend. And I'm actually using the paintbrush. I really like paintbrushes for like detail work, like the brows, or just applying concealer and stuff like that. So yes, I'm just applying that all over her face. I did go a little lighter than I typically go for her because she's very tan. I tend to match the foundation to their arms because I do go in with a lot of brighter concealer in the powder, so it does brighten up the face. But today I went a little lighter on her skin now that I'm looking at it. I'm also using this Morphe brush. I'm not sure the number for it because it came in the MUA, I think it's called MUA Life brush set, but it's a really great brush for foundation. I think it's it's not E60. It might be an E64. I'll make sure it's linked down below, all the brushes and all the products. But I'm doing just like these small patting motions, but also swiping at the same sense. But I just like to stay in one area and press all of that product in and just continue to move all over the face, making sure I'm getting underneath her chin so she doesn't have a mask look. And here she is being silly on the camera. And now it is time for concealer. Y'all know I love me some Tarte Shape Tape, so we're going in with Tan Deep Sand to brighten up all the center. I'm sorry, not this dog out here barking. Let me close this window, y'all. Hold on. So yes, I'm taking this Tan Deep Sand in the center parts of her face, underneath her eyes, the bridge of her nose, her forehead, her chin, and above her lip. I'm always going to highlight the center parts of the face to give her that brightened effect and just, make her look a little bit more awake and lift the face as well. So I'm taking that foundation brush because it does have some of that foundation on there, and it's going to help me blend out the edges. I just take the brush to blend out the edges and make that blend real seamless. And then I go in with a beauty blender afterwards just to get in those inner corners and the real precise crooks and crevices and things, to go ahead and blend all of that out. I am using a Real Techniques beauty blender, but I am learning that, well, I guess it really just depends, but like all beauty blenders are good. You just have to know how to work with them. But when I am pressing in this concealer, I am using very light pressure because the harder the pressure, the more you're going to pick up the product. But I also allow the concealer to dry down just a little bit before I go in and press and blend it out, because it'll give it a fuller coverage and it'll help the concealer kind of stay in place as well. And then I go on the bridge of the nose, blending that out into the forehead. And now I'm just taking a little bit of a brighter concealer. I believe this is Tan Sand. I'm going to say this is Tan Sand. Y'all, this is an old video that I have recorded and I'm just now editing it. So it's a little bit of guesswork, but it should be pretty close. I'm just taking it in those same places, but for this brighter concealer, I am putting it taking it at an angle underneath her mouth to kind of lift her mouth in a way. While I'm letting that dry, I am going to go ahead and fill in her brows. I am using the Ulta Slim Brow Pencil in dark brown. And I'm just taking hair-like strokes to give the brow a more natural look. So I'm just following the direction of the hairs in her brows and just imitating that. And just slightly filling it in. I don't want it to get too harsh too fast. So also light pressure when doing brows as well, because you don't want them to be too dark. And I just do that to both of the brows. So actually, y'all, this looks like that concealer has dried down some, and blending that second concealer out before we go in and conceal the brows. Now we are setting the under eye with some Mercier translucent powder. I'm just going and pressing that into the skin. I'm using a Real Techniques, I think it's their Miracle Sponge. It's specifically for powder, and it really sets the face really well and doesn't pick up any of that product. It's a different texture sponge, but everywhere I place concealer, I'm going and I am pressing some powder into it to set that area and just give you that matte finish. Doing the same on the nose. You also want to squeeze the beauty blender together when doing the nose to keep that line as narrow as possible and set that face. And now we are going in and contouring her face. I believe this is the Morphe E4 brush. This is also one of the brushes in the MUA Live set. I really suggest getting that brush set because it has literally everything that you need. But I am using the Black Radiance True Complexion palette, and I'm using the Sculpt shade on her. Just going in on the hollows of her cheeks and blending that upwards into the highlight area so everything is seamless, and also taking some on her forehead, around her hairline, and blending that in as well. So now we are doing blush, hashtag my favorite part. I love me a good rosy blushed cheek. But I'm taking it from one of my Juvia's Place palette. Everything will be linked down below because as of right now, don't know the name of the palette. But I know that there is a red shade, a pink shade, and an orange shade. And because she's lighter complexion, I'm using that orange and pink shade mixed together to give her that really blush look. I love orange tone blushes, so yeah. In with the Real Techniques Expert Concealer Brush to blend in that leftover concealer under her eyebrows. I did go ahead and conceal her brows just to get that out of the way. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you would like a video on just a brow tutorial, I can give y'all that as well. Just comment down below. Now it is time for the lips. I'm using the LA Girl, I think it's the Precision eyeliner in brown. It's just like a perfect brown and it's very creamy. So I'm using that to line her lips. And for the liquid lipstick, I am using the Infallible liquid lipstick by L'Oreal in the shade Sweet Tooth. And I'm just brushing that in the center of her lip and using that brush to kind of blend it into that lip liner. For gloss, I'm using the Ulta Jelly Gloss in Starfish. Yeah, in Starfish. And that completes the lip. Now for eyeshadow, I'm using that same palette I used for the blush, the Juvias palette. And I'm taking that light brown shade and just brushing that into her crease, and also placing that on the corners of her eyes. I wanted to go for this halo look, so I left the center kind of blank because that's where I'm going to put the blue shimmer. So I just continue to deepen that up till I like it and connect the two sides. And I'm taking this blue shade. This is from the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's this really, I think I mixed a deep blue and that teal shimmer together to get this lighter blue. And I'm just placing that on the center of her eye. And I do that for both eyes. This eyeshadow is pretty simple. I didn't want it to be too much, but I also want it to be something kind of different. So, yeah. Now, just to give her under eye a more dramatic look, I'm going in with some brightener powder from the Morphe Complexion palette. It's just like this yellow, and I am patting that all under her eye and on the bridge of her nose just to highlight those areas some more. And now I'm doing some gel liner, the Inglot gel liner, just to line on the top of her eyes. And I also use this in her waterline. And as y'all see, I just took that blue shimmer and smoked it out underneath her eye as well. I applied lashes, and now I'm doing body mascara because I love me some body mascara. And y'all, this completes the look. I definitely loved it. She loved it. And I also set the face with this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And I probably used some Urban Decay All-Nighter. But this completes the look, y'all. Something real quick and cute for the girls. If y'all enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Beauty Baby gang. I am dropping tips and tricks and tutorials all day long, okay? So thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see something else, go ahead and comment. Leave me a comment down below for that, and I will see y'all in the next one.